fear public speaking, and for others, flying is a no-no unless they are heavily sedated. And the list goes on and on. What is your fear? Or do you have an inhibition or fear? Join us August 25th for another entertaining, engaging, exhilarating, and exciting episode of Toastmasters Speak as we discuss inhibition, yours, mine, or ours. See you then on Toastmasters Speak, Tuesday, August 25th. Toastmasters Speak. Toastmasters Speak.
All right. That is Toastmasters Speak radio show. We certainly want to welcome each and every one of you right here in studio, but also those in Radio Lands. Who are some of the persons we really want to say thanks for listening, thanks for coming, thanks for being a part of Toastmasters Speak radio show?
We say thanks to our grandmas and our grandfathers, of course. We say thanks to our moms and dads. Most importantly, we say thanks to you generally, our listeners, for being with us each and every Tuesday, enjoying Toastmasters Speak.
Yes.
In anticipation of what is going to be taking place while we speak, and also after we move to the next program at the end.
For sure.
Toastmasters Speak is here for you, and we are here to stay.
For sure, our abuelas and abuelos, tios and tias, yes, those are grandma and grandpas, aunts and uncles, and everybody else in Radio Land. Today is a special day because it's the day where we're going to be touching on a topic that you may not even want to talk about. But just before that, I just want to introduce to you my very own co-host today in studio. We haven't seen him or heard from him not for a long time, but hey, how are you doing?
I am doing fine.
This is Toastmaster Wolsey Colley, definitely one of the co-hosts for the Toastmasters Speak radio show.
If you don't see me or if you don't hear me, just remember, my heart is here.
Definitely, most definitely. I am yours truly, Carla McGarvey-Blair. We do have another person, MIA today, but definitely sent her love and her thoughts as we go throughout this show today. We are hoping that we'll never forget our very own Toastmaster, Hazel Gordon Fletcher. Oh, yes.
This evening,
yes, talk to me.
What are we going to be speaking about?
You're asking me? I thought you was going to tell me.
Radio Land, what are we going to be speaking
ask
about?
them.
Because guess what? You would have been listening to the promo, and if you were listening carefully,
yes,
or even not, you would have heard this word, inhibition.
And I'm sure, listen, I can't go no further without bigging up Flashpoint, because for the whole week, Flashpoint has been advertising this particular program, Inhibition. Yes, and so today is no exception. We are going to roll it up and we are going to throw it out there so that you all could catch it and catch the vision and get rid of it, because it's not anything too good that we want to keep for too long. So Flashpoint Radio, we want to say thank you so much for having us in studio, but also for all the support that you continue to give to Toastmaster and to the radio show itself. With that being said, Mikey is Mikey in studio today, because the word of the day we certainly want to hear.
Comes from the mic?
Oh yes, Mikey.
I just grab my microphone and decide today's word of the day is actually illogical. And I thought about that, I would listen to your topic, and I thought to myself that, inhibition should have been the word for the day today, which is a very good word for the day. But then because of it being the subject matter, I thought about the word illogical. And this word is a very interesting word, because it has been able to explain so much of so many persons speaking for so long. And so if it is illogical, then we know that it's not something that we think we're going to be doing today. All right, so inhibitions, and today I'm giving the word illogical as the word for the day. Toastmasters, please speak.
Wow. We are being warned. We are being warned that right here on radio show, the word of the day, illogical. And this is something that we have to ensure it's a part of our presentation. And we would normally have that tussle. Who is going to win the word of the day today?
Indeed.
But a word like illogical, you're having me digging deep. But I know for sure. So if those who are listening on Radio Land would like to make that call, please ensure as you speak, you use the word of the day today, which is illogical.
Guess what?
Yes.
My question to us all is this. Is inhibition illogical?
Ooh, you're bowling me over.
If it is illogical, you'll find out as you go along. If you have it or have an inhibition for whatever cause, for whatever reason, would you consider it illogical or not?
You have me thinking right there.
But what is inhibition?
Inhibition, and this is definitely the terminology that may be used in a dictionary or just out there. Having this feeling, gaining this feeling that will make you self-conscious, make you aware, quite not illogical, but make you so conscious that you are unable to act. You are unable to do something or to move ahead in a relaxed and a natural way. So for me, this inhibition is stopping me from acting natural or acting relaxed or acting just me.
Or just feeling embarrassed or worrying about something that, and by worrying or feeling embarrassed, it actually stops you from going forward in terms of doing what you really could have been doing. You might have been offered an opportunity to do something, but because you have this worry, this fear of being embarrassed, or this feeling of being embarrassed about doing such a thing, you find yourself not doing it. You stop yourself. In other words, you are inhibiting yourself from moving forward.
So there's so many, wow, that's an eye-opener, because it's telling me that so many times we want to do something, so many times we want to go, we want to take that next step, but we are also at times inhibiting ourselves or having that inhibition that we don't move ahead.
Exactly.
Wow.
And inhibition also comes out in a form of fear. It's a feeling of fear. Sometimes it could be a feeling of panic, or you feeling that you're not able to do this because you have not done it before, because you don't think you can do it, because you think you don't have the ability to do it, because you don't look the part, right?
You're right.
Sound the part. You don't have the right qualifications. You don't have the right skills, and you are just so caught up in, what if I get embarrassed in trying to do this or trying to do that? And so we prevent ourselves from moving forward because of this inhibition, for whatever reason.
No, I'm looking at it because it becomes quite illogical for us to use inhibition not to progress, not to move forward. And so the logical statement you would want to say, the logical step you'd want to make, because of inhibition, we are not able to.
Exactly.
But as Toastmasters, I want us to look at it and bring it closer home. We are in a meeting, having our regular Toastmasters meeting. How is it that inhibition would have caused us not to be successful, not to be progressive, not to be, moving forward, or becomes, at the end of it, illogical, we can say? Talk to me.
Well, one of the things we could look at is the fact that we might have been given roles, such as to be a timer.
Timer role.
The role as a Toastmaster of the day, or a Toastmaster.
Grammarian role.
Grammarian role.
Counter.
You could also be given a, a role or a role to play as a executive member, being a treasurer,
An officer role.
an officer role. It
Ah.
could also be given the president's role. And I said, boy, I don't think I can do it as a president. And I don't, I don't, I think I'll embarrass myself or
Yes.
embarrass it when I
Yes.
represent the club and stuff like that. And I'm worried about, will I do well or not? Forgetting that it is not all about you. Every
That's
president,
true.
good or bad, has a support. Whether a president is in Toastmasters or that president is out there somewhere being a president in a world or in a of a company, that person has role players helping them, whether it be a vice president, a secretary, a treasurer,
Yes.
and so on and so forth. So it is illogical. Seems illogical when we actually think about it. If we are in a space such as Toastmasters, or we have put ourselves in that space, such as a Toastmasters club,
Yes.
to learn to overcome these fears and these inhibitions that we do have about ourselves, and at the same time, we still inhibit ourselves from moving forward in terms of doing that.
I am happy, and you're making some quite logical statements, because I can remember a few weeks ago we were just going into the election of new officers in July, and I got a call, and the person said, "Toastmaster Carla, I am fairly new in Toastmasters in the club, and they are asking me to be the president. That don't make sense. That's quite illogical." And I said, no. There are no just to join Toastmasters. I have known of Toastmasters now. Their very first meeting was an election, and they were elected as officers, and it worked.
Right.
So I'm saying that what would be your inhibition? And they're saying, but I am new and I don't want to. I just come, and those who have been members and have been officers and know the ropes, and I am new to this thing, and then I fail. And I'm saying, no, what is stopping you? So now I'm seeing that there's so many times when greatness could happen, and we're using inhibitions, no reason, something sometimes quite illogical, we are putting ahead of not wanting to progress.
You know, one example I use is, for example, a person going into a job for the very first time. Do you have that inhibition as or worry about the fact whether or not you're going to be doing well in that job, whether you're going to be getting over your 3 months probation period, whether you're going to be able to get your
I am happy you said
your
that.
salary or something like
Yes.
that. Yes, you may, but that does not stop you. You don't let that inhibition stop you. But why? Why don't you allow that inhibition to stop?
And before you answer, because I know you're getting there, before you answer, there are so many times because we are thinking, and I want to piggyback on that same example you use, going in the job and know that I only have 3 months to prove myself. And because you're fretting or worrying so much about that 3 months to prove yourself, you ended up don't prove yourself because you're fretting over the 3 months to prove yourself.
Too much worry.
Too much. And so that's good. But you asked the question, why is it that we would allow inhibition to stop us from even progressing? And that in itself is just that fear where we are unable to act in that natural tendency, that relaxed tendency, because we are thinking more. You know, sometimes, and I am falling short of that, I'm worrying or I'm not worrying, and I'm worrying. Why is it I'm not worrying? Because there's so many things happening that I should be worrying about, but I'm not worrying. So I start to worry. And that in itself is an inhibition.
Of course. That's serious one indeed.
Exactly.
Serious one indeed. The thing about it though is, when we look at inhibition, we have to think about why or what is stopping that individual from going forward. What are you worried about? What are you worried that you will not achieve? Why are you worried that you will be embarrassed, for example? What makes you feel that way? But then you look at that, but then you have to look at the next part, the other half. What will motivate you to push inhibition aside and for you to step over that hump and get to where you need to be?
I can remember as a Toastmaster, a new Toastmaster, a young Toastmaster in the legacy program. And we would have other Toastmasters coming to eminent orators to just show us the rope, guide us along. And I can remember distinguished Toastmaster Anik and distinguished Toastmaster Ingrid and distinguished Toastmaster Gainel. Those are the three distinguished Toastmasters that I can remember quite vividly. And every time they speak, I'd be like, you will never get there. And then to become a distinguished Toastmaster, I am like, this day will never come. When will this happen? But I believe that I use that instead of it becoming an inhibition. I use it as my trampoline to get over whatever it is because I want to become a distinguished Toastmaster.
So motivated.
I was so pumped.
Your motivation was more than your desire to actually. That was more than your inhibition.
It was more.
And it is the very same thing that allows us to step in a job and we are concerned whether or not we're going to succeed.
Yes.
And yes, the prize is the actual motivation.
It is.
That prize is not just the salary. The prize of being able to accomplish, to succeed.
That's it.
That prize could also be the fact that yes, it's not. I am getting the chance to take care of my family.
Yes.
That motivation, that prize, is that look. If I do well here, it means therefore that I can move on. For some persons, this will look good on my CV.
It will,
and so on. And
so we have to use that as logical statements, logical foundations to ensure that we are on the right path.
But one would say it is illogical if you see all that goal, that potential, and you choose not to step forward.
Quite illogical indeed.
Exactly. Toastmasters, on the other hand, allows us to do that bit by bit, step by step, goes along the pace that we are willing to go along.
Yes.
So if you are a leader, or someone who was wanting to become a leader, or someone said, you'll be a good leader, I said, I don't know how. I don't think I will be. I can't. And you step into Toastmasters, the steps are laid out. A role player as a timer.
Yes.
A role player as a grammarian.
Yes.
A role player as a Toastmaster
of the day.
As a matter of fact, you being a mentor for someone and also for other individuals in the club, possibly or other clubs, will help you to bring those skills out.
Yes.
As you are being taught in Toastmasters, in that safe space, allow you to be the best or the better person that you need to be. And it will bring you to, as a matter of fact, doing those steps, you'll find yourself one day being either the Vice President of Education.
Exactly. The President.
The President.
Listen, when I think about being or gaining inhibitions, I see them as illogical steps, illogical hurdles, illogical foundations. And so I will push and say to anybody, whatever task that you may have to do, does not matter what it is, forget the illogical hurdles and the illogical steps and the inhibitions that you have and move on. But they may say it's easier for you. For some persons, it may be harder. But I can guarantee that when you get yourselves involved in Toastmasters, it's not just about speaking, because it is also about leading. And so the two arms will be able to guide you and channel you. I'll say when it comes to Toastmasters, there are steps, small baby steps, and we can have those baby steps in your home club. You can have those baby steps home. There are times when you are asked to move beyond your home club. You may be another club in the area, another club in the division. And now we are able to go worldwide, global, because we are online and on Zoom. And these are the steps that will help us to remove the inhibitions, remove the illogical thoughts that we may have, and use them as trampolines themselves to get us way beyond the borders that we think we can handle.
I love that trampoline example.
Yes.
Do you know what a trampoline does? A trampoline helps you to build the muscles to jump.
Yes.
And by consistently bouncing and bouncing that trampoline,
Yes.
your muscles are developed. But not only that, your mobility, your balance, your all the muscles that are aligned to keep you balanced, those muscles are stressed. And as they are stressed, they get stronger because they are now building. And you'll find yourself, as a matter of fact, trampoline is used to help persons recover from certain types of injuries.
Yes. Yes.
Because while strengthening those muscles, those leg muscles, it also reduces the amount of force or the level of hardness that will take place on your ankles, your knees, and so on, and help you to heal. So the trampoline serves that purpose. It is also a springboard.
That's what I love. That's the part I love.
Depends on how hard you jump and how high you want to go. That trampoline can propel you to that height.
To that height.
And that is it. Trick about the trampoline though is that if you have any inhibition about trampoline or jumping up with others in it, you may not want to bounce and jump because you feel like you're going to fall.
Yes.
You feel
that injury is going to reoccur.
Exactly.
So that inhibition again.
Exactly.
But the thoughts?
But after you have stepped into that trampoline and you have done it once, twice,
and you realize,
those fears, those inhibitions tend to melt away, and now you become more expert at those legs.
And the inhibitions become illogical. Eventually. If you are listening to us, we are live on Toastmasters Speak radio show. This is Flashpoint Media, and we are discussing inhibitions. Inhibitions in just about anything. And the word of the day is illogical. So as you continue to listen, see if you could come up with just that statement to use the word of the day to anybody that you're speaking to, especially if you're talking about inhibitions.
Question though is, what is your inhibition?
You're asking me? My inhibition? Let me think. Let me think.
Or do you have any left?
I do. There is an inhibition of, what is it? I'm not sure if I know how to explain it. It's not inhibition of failing. It's the inhibition of disappointing persons. I have that inhibition. And I didn't even know I have it until I'm thinking about it now. It's really disappointing individuals. There's so many times that I may do presentations or lead a crew out, and especially as a physical educator, there are so many times I'm needed to ensure that this program goes well, or that sports day goes well, or that training session goes well. And then it's at the end, I want to know, did I fit the bill? Did I really move to your expectation? Was I able to surpass what you expected? Or am I on the right path? And there are times when I'm told, we expected this, we wanted that, we should have had that. And so that inhibition, I have that inhibition, but I never used my inhibitions to stop me from moving. That's the difference. So I use all my inhibitions as springboards, as a trampoline, and that's why I'm able to talk about it more. So there are times I fail, but I fail strong. I fail as if I pass. There are times I don't say it right, But you wouldn't know if you're not listening, because I'm going out there with that confidence, because all my inhibitions are used as springboard. Is that logical or illogical?
It doesn't seem illogical to me. So it must be logical.
Quite logical indeed.
Quite so. I can share with you what my inhibitions were. I don't know why recently. I don't probably it's because my son has no is now 13 and is going to 14 next month, about less than 2 weeks time.
He passed 13 already?
Yes, indeed.
Woo!
So I have been going back. I've been remembering things from when I was 13 years old,
Okay.
back in ninth grade, and one of them is, before I get carried away in saying too many, it's the fact that I remember quite clearly in English class when I was going to do my first presentation, and that first presentation with the teacher in the class, we were had to read something and prepare something and then present. It just so happened that it had to be done about vegetarian, something way back then. And I was told, look, don't be worried about speaking. Entire class, as a matter of fact, because the audience wants you to do well when you speak. Now, that didn't stop my inhibition. Because going up to speak, I was still nervous, terribly nervous. Mumbling and mumbling. If you ask me who was sitting with the 40 other of us in the class, if you ask me which face I was looking at, I couldn't tell you. I was sweating on the armpits, my ears were burning like they were on fire. And I just felt like I was totally embarrassed. That's how I felt.
Aww.
But since being in the Toastmasters program, years later, moons later, I can now look back at that experience and look at what Toastmasters has allowed me to do to this point.
Yes.
And I can say, without recognizing it, I can go up, I can speak sometimes without having the full information.
Yes.
And not worried about how I look, sometimes even how I sound. I can now laugh at myself even while doing the presentation. So, and don't feel embarrassed anymore.
That's true.
So my inhibition where that is concerned has somewhat, I wouldn't say it has faded away, but it has dissipated. What I've also discovered is that the fear, this inhibition that I was having before was illogical. Indeed, the audience wants it to do well. Because when you do well, the audience feels not just better about themselves, but they actually feel better about you as an individual.
Yes.
Because of what you had to say. Because you are there not to speak for yourself, you are there to enlighten, to entertain, uplift the audience, or to inform. And that is what they are hoping that you're able to do successfully, so they can leave feeling as though they did not waste their time and you would have accomplished something in going with them.
It's funny you made mention that at 13 you were able to hear the statement that the audience wants you to do well. Because my first time hearing that was when I joined Toastmaster. When I joined Toastmaster, I am told, listen, the audience does not want you to fail.
Exactly.
They do not want you to fail. They want you to do well. They want you to be relaxed. They want you to be your best. And hearing that made the difference for me.
Exactly.
So I can remember even my first presentation, my icebreaker, from Johnny Cake, from donut to Johnny Cake. I never forget that.
Still
And
right.
yes, man, it was still so great because I started out good, but went down like Johnny Cake. But at the end of it, hearing my evaluator, wow, I said, but this is easy. I'm ready for the road. And so it goes to show that when we know that the audience expects us to do well, the audience wants us to do well. At contests, the audience wants us to win. It gives us it removes the inhibitions that we would have and make our path clear, make it seem so logical that we are ready no matter what.
Let me share something else with you.
Do you want to share it now or you want to share it right after we take this break?
After the break, we can share it.
It's certainly. So after the break, we will have a break. But when we come back, Toastmaster Wolsey will certainly share with us a little more on the topic inhibition.
Indeed.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
All right, so we want to welcome our audience back. We want to welcome those in Radioland, and we want to welcome each and everyone back to the program. We took a short break, but we are here again, and there is no inhibition, and we are being quite logical. Trying to use the word of the day, which is illogical, but nonetheless, this is Flashpoint Radio Studio. We are in studio live today, Toastmaster Wolsey Colley and myself, Carla McGarvey-Blair.
Welcome back.
Oh, yes.
What is your inhibition? We invite you to share what your inhibition is or was. Share that with us in the chat, the YouTube chat. And if you remember the number, the WhatsApp number, you can WhatsApp information as well. So we want to hear from you. We want you to share with us what you are thinking, what you are feeling, or even what you were feeling or what you were thinking. Inhibition. What is your inhibition and your fear, or what was it? And if you would like, how can you get over it? And that is where I was leading to earlier.
Yes.
The break.
So we did make mention inhibition. We look at it as that feeling that makes you self-conscious. And because you're so self-conscious, you're unable to act in a relaxed or a natural way. And you may have that inhibition that may stop you. We made mention of so many different inhibitions. We expressed ours, and yet we look at our inhibitions and the things that we use and what is it that we use to move from one stage to the next.
Exactly. So inhibition is that, as Toastmaster Carla said a while ago, that which may be stopping you from getting somewhere or doing something as it relates to you feeling work, fearful, embarrassed, or something to that effect. So how can you overcome your inhibition?
Let me hear.
Mine, I had to confront or hit my fear head on.
Wow.
So what I found out happening to me, it was from time to time, if I was called upon to speak, the longer it took for me to speak is the more nervous I would get. And somehow I found out that if somebody lay their hand upon me suddenly and say, go and do this, out of the blue, out of nowhere, I somehow pick up the courage and is now able to speak and to do that role in church. It could be at work or some other situation. I'm able to do it. And over time, I still wasn't doing it well, but what I was doing was learning to conquer that inhibition. Because you see, back in the day, I would be getting the opportunity to be captain of a team. I would say no. The leader for this, and I say no. The leader for that. I don't see myself as that.
Wow.
And so what was happening, I was taking myself out of those roles,
yes,
and was building that leadership, those leadership skills.
Quite illogical.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But persons were actually seeing that in me. So
Wow.
guess what? If you have that inhibition, whether it's public speaking, whether it be doing a particular job or doing a particular thing, whatever it is, if someone sees that
Quality.
in you,
Yes.
you can use that opportunity to take on that challenge. Guess what? You don't have to know how to do the thing that you're getting into right at the onset. But one of the things I've come to realize and recognize with us as human beings,
Mm-hmm.
several times what we are seeing in ourselves or think of ourselves, persons are seeing something far deeper and greater in you,
Completely opposite.
and you don't see or know it. So if enough persons are telling, yes, you know, you're good speak, you know, you should be on the radio. No, man, my no.
Listen.
You know, you could be a good doctor. You could be a good nurse. You know,
Yes.
you could be
That's true.
whatever that is. Allow yourself to take that on. Try it for once.
I have
And
to
see what
give,
will happen.
if you have a mom like mine, I certainly have to lift my hats off to her. And it's many. There are many hats. I have to say thank you, Jean Thomas, because as I said to you, my inhibitions were, I used all of them as trampolines, just that springboard. Because mommy will say, you scared of the eyes? Don't look at the eyes, just look at their head tops. Listen, 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 come this way, stand on this chair and shout for me. She said, I can't hear. She said, look at the clock. And she would, mommy, within her little local zone, was able to become so sensible and sensible to get me where I am today. And because of that, I had no fear. I don't have fears for the eyes, or I don't have fears for persons. I sometimes overdo it. And that in itself is also a way of saying, am I doing it correctly? Am I getting it done? So I really have to lift my hat off, definitely, to mommy for giving me the springboard as how to get over these inhibitions and use them in a more logical term or a logical sense than what it would have been. Because I thought about my talents, my gifts, and I said, what would happen if I was to use them the opposite way?
Right.
And so it is really, really important that we look at our inhibitions and start to see them in a different way. And I want to thank Toastmasters for concretizing that, because it makes me realize that your audience, one, do not want you to fail. They want you to be the best you can be. And with that, you become the best. And so each and every time, it's so important that we get ourselves involved, going to meetings, ensuring that things are happening, and get ourselves, the more we do it over and over and over, it becomes easy.
Exactly.
Just our meeting last evening, Toastmaster Andrea, this was her first time being the Toastmaster of the day, but she shone brighter than the sun. She did so well. And she said, I'm ready for the road. I said, girl, you got this. Because again, her inhibition of failing, her inhibition of so many advanced Toastmasters are there. I don't want to be the Toastmaster of the day in front of them. But wetting her toe, getting her toe in the door, wetting that but she was able to conquer her inhibition.
You went both feet.
Oh, yes, she did.
Did
And she
quite
did
well.
so well. So, Toastmaster Andrea, we just want to say, girl, you knock us out the park. You did so well yesterday. Congratulations.
What I want to bring to you as well is if you're wondering whether or not you have an inhibition. And that could be a question, a real genuine question. And the answer is if you do, what I would ask if you don't know what they are, perhaps there is. What I would encourage you to do is to sit quietly and think for a while and ask yourself that question. Approach it from this standpoint. What is it that I would have liked to have done and I have chosen not to do it? Why did I stop? Why did I not pursue that direction?
Toastmaster Wolsey, I believe everybody have some form of inhibition. And I'm going to throw it out to the man in the studio. Mikey G, do you have any inhibition? And if you do, can you share one of them? Because last week we learned all your talents, all your business, plus the ones you didn't tell us about. Love to cook, love to bake, love to rap, and the list goes on.
Oh boy. Inhibitions.
Your inhibition. What exactly? Share one with us.
I'm just thinking about the word itself and in the context of the word as you are adding. Inhibitions for me is very tricky because I do have a few. Some of them I don't even want to actually kind of like talk about. That kind of thing. So I do have those, and but what I can say is that they are not necessarily what you call a setback for me. I don't use them as setbacks. While they are there, I do use them as my catalyst to go forward and allow me to propel me forward. I don't use them. I don't allow them to be the thing that pull me back or stop me from striving for success. So yeah, I do have those, but as I said, not speaking too much on them, but to tell you that yes, while I do have them, I am very mindful of them as well. But also, with that being said, see them as a positive and not necessarily a negative.
Sounds like you use yours as springboards.
Well, all right, fine. So I heard about the trampoline method that you talked about earlier, and I am thinking that I think about that as a part of my. All right, so you spoke about the trampoline, and when you jump on that trampoline, and the higher you go. But then the thing is, when you think about the jumping on the trampoline, the harder you hit that trampoline. It's like going. My thing is this to say that if you take a ball, and you want it to go the highest in the air, you have to slam it the hardest on the ground. So there are times when I hit hard on the ground in terms of life itself, and life will throw me down or hit me down very hard. Now, the harder life hit me down is the higher I'm going to go, and that's why I use the trampoline in my mind to springboard myself into success. No matter how hard life will hit you, or how much it will pace you to the floor at the hardest pace, it only means that you're going to go the highest if you allow it to do that.
Indeed. I want to add by saying this. I cannot allow time to pass without me saying this as that comes to mind. Do we realize that one of the greatest inhibitions for us as human beings, for us that is stopping us from moving forward, stopping us from opening a business, stopping us from progressing, is the fact that we fear failure.
Fear of failing.
The
Yes.
fear of failing.
Yes.
And it is said that one person said this, and it's so profound. And I'm sure a lot of persons have heard this before. And it says, the place you find most of the ideas is actually
The
in
cemetery.
cemetery.
Yes.
I would like to say this.
They die. So the place where most ideas are
Potentials and
are
ideas.
found at the cemetery because they die
With
with
the
the
person.
individuals. So many of us die without putting those ideas into practice
Because of
we
inhibition.
fear.
I would like to share this with you.
And because of that, a number of individuals, for example, their inhibition is not wanting, they want to start a business, but what is holding them back is the fear that it will fail.
Fail.
And that constant struggle in your
It's
mind
true.
before you even start, you are going to fail and you end up
It is true.
not starting. But the greatest thing to overcome that fear is actually to start.
To see, to prove.
Not that you may not fail, but failure in and of itself comes when we actually stop trying or stop moving forward.
Well, here's where I want to say this to you. I would like to say this to you and to your audience this evening. That you mentioned the idea of failing, and so it was what I was about to raise that particular point. People ask, what is the hallmark of success? The hallmark of success is failure. If you have never failed, or if you have failed at something, it means you're succeeding. All right, and so that is what failure for me looks like. Failure means you have succeeded because it means you're succeeding at what you're doing because you're actually trying to do what you want to do. And so it is where a lot of people find themselves become discouraged because failure occur. And so I would like to make this clear to someone that if you're trying something or to do something, don't say you're trying to do it. And if you even fail, remember that's where you start to succeed. And success is in your grasp. Yes.
Prospective Toastmaster Mikey, guess what? Your statement is quite logical. There was nothing illogical about your statement today. So I want to say thank you so much. We do just have a few more minutes in studio while we wrap up, and we definitely want to share with the audience and also with those in Radioland our club times for the other clubs that are on the island. Just before I do that though, Toastmaster, was your final comment and your final statement on inhibitions as we move into a new program.
Inhibition, the feeling of embarrassment or worry on a particular act or a particular act that is stopping us from moving forward or slowing us down or preventing us from progressing.
Yes.
I did mention to you a while ago that the greatest inhibition is a lot of individuals is fear.
Yes.
But guess what? What
fear of failing.
Fear of failing.
Yes.
But what comes along with that fear of failing is embarrassment. And believe it or not, if we should really check it, the root of all comes from the fear of embarrassment.
Yes. Yes.
Fear of embarrassment.
Pride.
That feeling
Hurt.
of embarrassment.
Yes.
I want to and I will. I will just not say I want it. I am saying to us that we can overcome these inhibitions by tackling them head on. Jumping in, looking them, seeing them for what they are, and actually tackle them. For a Toastmaster or a prospective Toastmaster, or for someone who is looking to move forward, if it is embarrassing, worry is speaking, if it is opening a business, if it is driving a car, if it is singing, if it is dancing, whatever it is, the best thing to do is to try doing it at all costs. And if you try once, twice, 3 times, keep doing it because they said, I'm sure you would have heard it. If you try at first and don't succeed,
keep
try again. And you will overcome your inhibition at whatever it is.
All right. I will finish by saying when it comes to even Toastmasters, they have created the environment for us to remove inhibitions because they have also have training. And when we say training, it's not just because training may be such an inhibition in itself, but it is really avenues that you are able to learn from and grow. So it is important at least twice per year we have training for the officers and those who are interested. But we also have at each club meetings, every time we do a role, it's a form of training. Every time you visit and listen, you are in fact learning. So get yourselves involved. If it is on a Thursday, every first and third Thursday, we are at the HSA Toastmasters Club. It is a closed club. But again, for those who are HSA members, HSA workers, get involved in the HSA Toastmasters Club. And that will be from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. every first and third Thursday. Our mother club every Thursday, and they are at the library in Georgetown on the third floor. 6 o'clock they start. So if you're interested and you're in town, just stop at the library and say you're going up on the third floor. On Wednesdays, we have the Civil Service Toastmasters Club. Again, another closed club. But hey, if you're a civil servant, that's the club for you. And they are definitely available and ready to take you in and remove some of your inhibitions. What about Tuesdays? Every second and fourth Tuesdays. As a matter of fact, at 6:30 today, the Eloquent Speakers Toastmasters Club, and they are in the Savannah area at the boardroom at the United Brethren Church, right behind Wendy's. Yes, you can't miss it. And they start at 6:30 every second and fourth Tuesdays. And on Mondays, hey,
The Eminent Orators Toastmasters Club. And you know that we meet in person at 6 p.m. right here on Mondays at Flashpoint location.
yes,
And when we don't meet in physically, we meet virtually 7 p.m. on a Zoom platform,
all right.
which
So,
makes it more accessible to you. You can
Mhm.
join anytime from anywhere. And like that.
So for the entire week, Toastmasters within the Cayman Islands is catering for you so that your inhibitions can be removed and you can see them as illogical hindrances that need to be moved out of the way. I will say to you, those in Radio Land, those in the studio, and those my audience, I say to you, please make Toastmasters one of your bucket list, not just a bucket list, but one of your habits that you need to have so that you are able to get rid of inhibitions. Because Toastmaster is the place where leaders are made.
Greatest.
Welcome to the Eminent Orators Toastmasters Speak radio show, season 2.
Yes, season 2, right here in the Cayman Islands with Flashpoint Radio every second and fourth Tuesdays, 5:30 p.m. live.
Rebroadcasting will be aired on the first and third Tuesday at the same time.
What are we expecting? What are we expecting? We are expecting a supportive and positive learning experience in which each member is empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth.
Join us, yours truly, Toastmaster Hazel Fletcher,
Toastmaster Wolsey Colley,
and yours truly, distinguished Toastmaster Carla McGarvey-Blair, for another exciting season of speaking and leadership information galore. Toastmasters Speak,
Toastmaster Speaks.
Toastmasters
Toastmaster Speaks.